I'm going to do a video on the Santa Monica shooting. All right, these are the facts as of today that I know, and today is the 9th of June. So they just released the guy's name. I'm not going to say it on camera, but his mother is over in Lebanon, and she has a Lebanese name, and she's over there for a month. So she took off, went to Lebanon for a 1-month vacation to see family, and left him back here in the United States. He killed his father and his brother. So we can probably figure that he probably went to live with them while his mom, who separated from the father, went to Lebanon. Because that's usually what you do with a crazy kid. You don't just leave them in the house by themselves. And he killed his father and his brother. He then went out and proceeded to carjack people, go to a college campus, and he killed 3 people total. Now, here's the interesting thing. Everyone knew he was nuts. Everyone who they talked to knew he liked guns and he was crazy. But because he lives in super liberal California, nobody could do anything about it. Because they can't do anything until he actually breaks the law because he lives in super liberal California. Now, the other thing I found interesting is the Santa Monica police chief doesn't know anything about AR-15s except what they look like on TV, I think. And the reason I say that is she said that the gunman was carrying an AR-15-like rifle of some sort. Well, what he was carrying was an AR-15. And then she said he had a second upper half to an automatic rifle. Well, no, he didn't. He had another upper to the AR-15. You see, when I buy an AR-15, if I decide that I don't like the top on it, I can just buy another top without having to go through any background check or anything. I can buy 2 tops to stick on top of this piece right here. So this guy had a nice, pretty flat top that he was using, and he had a backup top that he could stick right on it. That basically was kind of like this, where it had the front sight post fixed and a handle on it. Instead of the scope, it had a handle. So it was more the old style, and it looked like it had a fake suppressor that was pinned on it. It wasn't a real suppressor from what I could see of it, because they don't really allow that in California, I don't think. So he had 2 tops to an AR. Why would somebody carry 2 tops to an AR? Well, the fact is he was carrying 33 30-round magazines. So if you shoot fast enough, you'll overheat one top, blowing through 20 magazines, and he can just switch out and pop the next top on and start firing again if he overheats one of the tops and causes it to malfunction or it has a problem. So he was just carrying a backup top to his weapon, and it wasn't fully automatic because, again, the top doesn't control the automatic. The semi-automatic portion, which he had, is the bottom. If without changing this out to make it fully automatic, you can't have that. Plus there's other parts to the weapon. So he had a semi-automatic AR-15, not an automatic top. So anyway, the police chief doesn't know what she's talking about, and that doesn't surprise me, being that she's in California and a police chief. I'm sure the SWAT guy that works under her would have known his crap and informed people properly. But anyway, not to get too bent up on the details. I saw the picture where they laid out all the guy's gear, and she goes, and he had some type of vest on. People are calling it a bulletproof vest. I seriously doubt he had bulletproof vest. What he had probably was a just vest that holds magazines, like a tactical vest. The likelihood he was running around in California with plate armor or level 3 vest on is highly unlikely, because again, I think they restrict that too in California to where only cops can get it. All right, what he did have that he probably shouldn't have had, most definitely, besides the weapon, was that he had 33 30-round magazines. Okay, if I go to California and I have one 30-round magazine, they are going to arrest me. He had 33 of them, okay? So he obviously somehow got a hold of these magazines illegally that you weren't supposed to own in California. And he got a hold of a rifle, which he shouldn't have been able to buy since he was hospitalized a few years ago for mental disorders. And it just goes to show that he's a crazy guy, and he obtained weapons. He obtained magazines that he shouldn't have had access to. So again, none of the laws in California stopped this guy from getting a hold of all this stuff he wasn't supposed to have. Which goes to show that no matter what laws you put in place in a free country and a free society, crazy people who premeditatedly plan a shooting are going to get a hold of the weapons. If they can't get a hold of weapons through illegal means, then they probably are just going to go on the internet and make some sort of a bomb like the Boston Marathon bombers. So there's no way to stop crazy. The only thing we can do is keep an eye out for them and try to get them help. And secondly, we can carry weapons ourselves, like concealed carriers, and hopefully one of them can stop one of these people when he goes on a rampage. There have been lots and lots of cases where, and they're not in the news very often, but there have been just as many mass shootings ended before they became mass shootings by concealed carriers as there are mass shootings that get in the news. They just don't get in the news because it's not a mass shooting if you shoot a guy with 1,300 rounds before he kills more than 4 people. Again, a mass shooting is 4 people killed or more by a single gunman or pair of gunmen. So, and I mean, you can, I mean, I can tell you there was a church in Aurora, Colorado, off-duty cop. After his mother-in-law, you know, the pastor's mother came out, she got shot in the face. He came in to kill everyone in the church. Off-duty cop who was in the congregation shot the guy in the face, and problem solved. Another time, a mass shooter, this happened a couple months ago down in San Antonio, off-duty cop, killed him. The Colorado one where the guy attacked the church and killed 4 or 5 or 6 people, security guard with concealed carry license, not a security guard, but a concealed carry license, congregation person acting as security at the church. She was an ex-female police officer, shot and killed him. So again, there are more cases of concealed carry people killing mass shooters before they can do a lot of harm than otherwise. When you have to wait for the cops to show up, the body count is always far higher than when a concealed carrier is in the right place at the right time and can stop them. So again, California, most restrictive gun laws in the United States, just had a nice another mass shooting there. So it just goes to show, no matter what laws they write, they're not going to stop this problem with laws. They need to let the laws become more lenient for the concealed carriers in that state, and let some of the people back the cops up in these situations. And then they've done that across the United States, and it does cut down on the overall murder and crime rate to have that uncertainty in the shooter's mind that, hey, if I go out here, I may get shot. You know, people don't go in and start gunfights at gun ranges. They don't go to cop stations to start gunfights. They go to schools and college campuses where everyone has to be disarmed because there's a high population of unarmed people. They're soft targets. We're inviting the attacks in those places. So anyway, I can ramble on forever about this, so I'm going to stop this. And again, just another crazy person doing crazy stuff. And even if you were to take all the guns away, he would just go on the internet, make himself a nice bomb, and go kill more people, more than 5 people with a bomb probably. So anyway, we live in a free society, and unfortunately there is inherent risks with giving people freedom.
Meep, meep.